to accept. In a statement after Tuesday's call, the White House said, quote, "The leaders agreed that the movement to peace will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire, as well as technical negotiations on implementation of a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, full ceasefire, and permanent peace." The Kremlin said Putin had raised concerns about a truce being used by Ukraine to mobilize more soldiers and rearm itself. Putin also said that any resolution of the conflict would require an end to all military and intelligence assistance to Ukraine. Later, Trump said on Truth Social that the call was productive, with an understanding that the leaders will be, quote, "working quickly to have a complete ceasefire and ultimately an end to the war." Trump's overtures to Putin since returning to the White House have left traditional U.S. allies wary. Ukraine and its Western allies have long described Russia's invasion as an imperialist land grab, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Putin of deliberately prolonging the war. After Tuesday's call, the Kremlin said that Russia and Ukraine would conduct another prisoner exchange on Wednesday, trading 175 people from each side.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayan Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams finally returned to Earth in a SpaceX capsule on Tuesday. The crew enjoyed a soft splashdown off Florida's coast and were welcomed back by a pod of curious dolphins. Their return caps a protracted space mission that was fraught with uncertainty, technical problems, and political spectacle. They were stuck in space for 9 months after their faulty Boeing Starliner craft upended what was meant to be a week-long stay on the International Space Station. Issues with the Starliner's propulsion system led to cascading delays to their return home. Then the mission got caught up in politics after it captured the attention of US President Donald Trump. He called for a quicker return of Wilmore and Williams when he took office. He also alleged, without evidence, that former President Joe Biden abandoned the pair on the ISS for political reasons. NASA acted on Trump's demands by moving Crew 9's replacement mission up sooner, according to the agency's ISS chief, Joel Montalbano, on Tuesday.
See, we work for the president, and who's ever there, we work for them. We had an input from that office. We took a look at it. And, you know, our job is to take all the inputs we get and operate as successful and safely as we can. And that's what we did for this administration, and that's what we would do for any administration.
The agency had swapped a delayed SpaceX capsule for one that would be ready more quickly. They said they sped through its methodical safety review process to heed the president's call. Wilmore told reporters earlier this month on a call from the ISS that he did not believe NASA's decision to keep them on the station had been affected by politics under the Biden administration. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, a close advisor to Trump, had echoed Trump's call for an earlier return. He said the Biden administration spurned a SpaceX offer to provide a dedicated Dragon spacecraft rescue mission last year. NASA officials said the 2 astronauts had to remain on the ISS to maintain adequate staffing levels. They said they did not have the budget or the operational need to send a dedicated rescue spacecraft. Crew Dragon flights cost between $100 million to $150 million. Boeing had hoped Starliner would compete with the SpaceX capsule, but this mission has thrown its development future into uncertainty. NASA's Commercial Crew Program Chief, Steve Stick, said on Tuesday that Starliner needs more tests before it routinely carries U.S. astronauts.
You know, we're certainly looking at Starliner very carefully. We're in the process of looking at that vehicle, looking at the helium system. We've got some candidate seals that we're going to replace. We'll get into some testing here over the summer timeframe with what we call an integrated doghouse at White Sands. So we're looking at that.
Boeing, which congratulated the astronauts' return on X, did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
U.S. stocks snapped a 2-session streak of gains, with the Dow dropping 0.6%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq plunging 1.7%. Investors exercised caution ahead of a monetary policy decision from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday, while continuing to gauge the potential impact of President Donald Trump's tariff policies. Michael Landsberg is Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management.
Tariff uncertainty has not been a great thing. I think people are worried about what's going to happen. And so I think having a little bit of cash still pays a good rate of return. I think people have looked at that and said, we may have to hunker down a little bit longer than we thought to get some clarity around tariffs. And so that's what people are going to do.
Stocks had shown some signs of stabilizing after weeks of declines that sent the S&P 500 and Nasdaq into correction territory. The blue-chip Dow is now just over 2% away from also entering a correction. Mega-cap tech stocks were among the hardest hit on Tuesday, with Nvidia sliding almost 3.5%. Speaking at the company's annual software developer conference, CEO Jensen Huang defended the company's lead in selling AI chips. Tesla tumbled more than 5% after brokerage RBC slashed its price target on the EV maker stock, citing reduced expectations for its full self-driving pricing and robotaxi market share. Its shares are now down nearly 45% on the year. And shares of Alphabet fell more than 2% after the company said it would buy Wiz for about $32 billion in its biggest deal ever as the Google parent doubles down on cybersecurity.
Well, before we get into the details of the forecast, there is a special weather statement. An elevated risk of wildfire spread today. A combination of dry and gusty southerly winds will result in elevated risk of wildfire spread this afternoon and early evening. Residents are urged to exercise caution if handling any potential sources of ignition, such as machinery, cigarettes, or matches. Fire will have the potential to spread rapidly if dry grasses and tree litter ignite. So that is a special weather statement from the National Weather Service. Some sun this morning, increasing clouds this afternoon. Higher wind gusts possible. Highs today in the low to mid 70s. Clear to partly cloudy skies tonight with lows in the low to mid 50s. Thursday, looking at rain showers in mid-50s. Friday, partly cloudy, upper 40s. Saturday, rain showers, low 40s. Sunday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-40s. Area temperatures this morning: Meadville at 51 degrees, Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 53, Titusville 45, Franklin 45, Oil City 42 degrees here at 7:13. This is the morning drill. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
It's time for the morning drill.
All right, a Wednesday morning. It is the, 19th day of March. Marching on here.
March.
I thought, Easter's kind of late, right?
Yeah.
In April, and so I thought, well, that's going to be a while. It's coming fast.
It is.
Egg prices going down at all?
I don't know.
We've been getting eggs from the black market.
From the black market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sly Eddie in the alley pulls up and opens his trunk, and we've been buying eggs back there.
Mm-hmm.
But
something like that.
Something like that. I had heard that they were starting to come down, but
I am not paying. I really haven't. I won't pay attention until it comes time to dye Easter eggs. Then it'll be like, oh crap.
Well, but we got some birthdays coming up. Are you going to be needing
Happy
eggs
birthday.
for cake?
Here's a dozen eggs. Oh, no, I'll use our black market eggs.
Okay. Hey, there's a lot in the news, and we'll start with this one. Kind of surprised to see this headline yesterday. But Kennywood,
I saw that, yeah.
Idlewild, and Sandcastle are being sold to a new company. The company that owns award-winning destinations such as Dollywood, Silver Dollar City Parks and Resorts. That sounds like fun. And Wild Adventures theme parks. Never been to Dollywood.
No.
We know some people that have actually worked at Dollywood in the on the entertainment side, which is pretty cool. But never been. Always, I wouldn't say it's something on my bucket list, but it seems like the last couple of years, everybody's been taking trips to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And doing Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and really having fun. And they come back and they're like, "Oh, you guys really need to go down." And we have a son who has been playing guitar for a couple years and likes like the old school country music. And so we've talked the last couple summers about, is this the summer we
maybe take the trip down. But anyways, when you look at that, everybody says, you got to at least spend a day at Dollywood just to go to Dollywood. But anyhow, the company that owns Dollywood, Silver Dollar City Parks and Resorts, and Wild Adventure theme parks now purchasing Kennywood, Idlewild, and Sandcastle. So
nice.
Yeah, and maybe you'll see some investment into those parks.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. So that story caught my eye. I watched the video from SpaceX and NASA yesterday of the astronauts returning, which was really cool to watch that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Watched for I don't know, maybe an hour. But it was awesome. I'll tell you what one of my favorite shots was once the capsule landed in the water.
Mm-hmm.
They must have had a drone that flew over and just like circled.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then you could see the ship coming in the distance to come pick up the cat. It was really cool.
Aw.
It's just sad news. We haven't talked about this, but obviously it's been in the news for a little while here. But Tuesday marked 12 days since that University of Pittsburgh student disappeared while on spring break to the Dominican Republic. Her parents are now asking authorities to just pronounce her dead, basically. Everybody
They're
believes...
looking for closure.
Yeah, everybody believes at this point she's drowned. I think they interviewed the boy she was with. I'm not sure if it was a boyfriend, but not a suspect. Very, very open. They had no reason to believe he was involved with it, other than being with her. And I think the story was they were in the water, and so that's why they're saying drowning. But yeah, just sad news there. And then another story, again, kind of close to us. A Pittsburgh area father wants answers after several college-age men, including 2 Penn West Clarion football players, are seen on video beating up his 17-year-old son. So this is kind of rocking the Clarion community a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do the same thing to them if I could. I really would. It's disgusting, said Ryan Sloan. Ryan Sloan was at a Pittsburgh hospital waiting for his wife to give birth when he got a call from his son a little after 2 a.m. about the altercation on 5th Avenue in Clarion Township. They basically taunted me. They took my phone and taunted me when I was drinking with them, Caleb Sloan said. That led to them jumping me and smashing a bottle over me and stabbing me and then jumping on my friend, he said. Now he has several bruises all over his body and a black eye. He spent 7 hours in the hospital after the violent altercation. I thought I was going to bleed out. It was bad, said Caleb. 2 of the people involved in the fight play football for Penn West Clarion. A university spokesperson confirmed to local media outlets. The university confirms they've been suspended from football activities while state police investigate. But I think what the part of the issue was Clarion not...
There was no response. Like
right
I guess,
away?
Yeah. It was ignored, swept under the rug. And I think he went to the police, he went there, he wasn't getting results, so he went to where everybody else goes, social media, to call out everybody.
Well, a police cruiser with activated police lights is seen in the video.
Mm-hmm.
The Clarion police chief said the officer was busy with a traffic stop, which is why they didn't intervene. So I would say at this point, they're probably still gathering all the information and trying to get things figured out. But yeah, just a couple
crazy,
horrible college-related story. Not related, but
yeah.
That's the part that's related, involving college kids.
Mm-hmm.
But just some bad news there. All right, we're going to turn our attention to birthdays here this morning and what it is we're celebrating on this 19th day of March. We'll begin with the celebrity birthdays. And who's celebrating today?
All right, actress Glenn Close is 78. Actor Bruce Willis is 70. Actress Rachel Blanchard is 49. And that is actually all I have. Oh. Yeah, it's weird.
Not Glenn Close. Is it Meryl Streep who's dating Martin Short?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they've been seen together.
Oh,
and
that's kind of cool.
Man, I'm going to have to look
cool?
this up.
Is it not cool?
No, I don't know.
Does it really matter what we think?
No, not at all. Meryl Streep. No. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know why. I just, not that it has anything to do with Glenn Close, but I was, for a split second, like, oh, no, it wasn't Glenn Close. It's Meryl Streep.
Gotcha.
Oh, just legendary actresses,
Gotcha.
And Martin Short. It's just, Martin Short.
That's so cool.
Three Amigos. And so many other things.
I was like,
so many other
is
things.
that all you got? All right.
All right. Let's find out what we're celebrating here today.
All right. Today is Certified Nurses Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. International Clients Day. International Read to Me Day. National Automatic Door Day. National Backyard Day. National Chocolate Caramel Day. National Let's Laugh Day. National Poultry Day. National SBDC Day. National Stretch Mark Day. Small Business Development Center Day. And St. Joseph's Day. Okay. That's it. That's all I got.
Was it National Read to Me Day or?
Yeah.
You just, it was last month. You really, I don't know how you found the book or how you came across it, but you're like, I really want this book. You got it and you read it quickly.
Yeah, it was a really good book.
What was it?
The Secret Life of Bees.
And how did you come across that?
It's so weird. Something popped up on social media it was like a clip, there's a movie, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, I just saw like 2 seconds of the clip and thought that, it looked, so I did research on what the clip was from, and it's from a movie, but there's a book. So I'm like, I'm that person who has to read the book first, so I can understand parts of the movie that they don't completely fill in the gaps.
Gotcha.
So, which drives you nuts because we'll be watching a movie that there's a book based on, and you're like, why did they do this? Why is that? Oh, in the book.
Well, I think the other thing happens more. You're like, that doesn't happen in the book.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know that. I didn't read the book. I'm watching the movie.
Like it.
Oh, it doesn't go down this way in the book.
Yeah, it's a little like books are like it's a little more explained.
Yeah.
For the most part in the book, and it's just like it might take something where you think in a book it's like this is a great moment, and it just is a 10-second clip on a video.
I was happy for you. You got excited about this book. It's been a few years since you were like, I got to have that book. All right, we'll be back right after this.
We're feeling extra lucky this month at Community Chevrolet, and thanks to our legendary trade values, you'll feel like doing a jig of your own.
I do not dance on command, but if the moment calls for it.
This March, there's silver at the end of the rainbow in the form of the all-new 2025 Chevy Silverado. And our team is channeling the luck of the Irish to get you approved.
I call this move the Shamrock Boogie.
All this month, strike gold when you visit Community Chevrolet.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply. Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville.
Your legacy is your story. Chapters filled with adventure, love, learning, challenge, and success that have played a part in your life, all set in the communities you care about. As you think about how to continue your story for generations to come, a Community Foundation Legacy Fund provides a personal and flexible opportunity. With a Legacy Fund, you can clearly spell out your wishes for the future. By working alongside the Community Foundation to communicate and share your charitable goals, you can continue to play a role in the stories of your favorite causes and communities. Your estate plans provide a table of contents to chronicle your charitable giving. Our team can work alongside you and your professional advisors to assist in authoring future chapters. By naming your legacy fund in a will or trust, assets can be designated for giving after your lifetime. When you share your charitable story with the Community Foundation, we will ensure the causes that have been important characters in your life will continue to shape the stories of others. As you discover new organizations along the way, the flexibility of a legacy fund provides an opportunity to rewrite the organizations you wish to support after your lifetime without having to take your will or trust off the shelf. Your legacy fund can serve as inspiration for future generations. Whether you want to create a charitable giving fund for family members, establish endowments for sustainable support, or invest in the future needs of your community, we are here to help you continue your story. You can trust the Community Foundation will carry out your charitable wishes as your legacy fund brings your story to life. And as with any good story, thanks to your generosity, the causes and communities you care about will carry on happily ever after.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Waking up with the morning drill.
Welcome back, 7:28. We've got news coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Real quick, congratulations. Sidney Crosby surpassing Wayne Gretzky on the all-time point list. Pretty exciting stuff. Speaking of sports and hockey, last night the Penguins fell to the Islanders 4-2. Capitals over the Red Wings 4-1. It was the Flames beating the Rangers 2-1. Canadians over the Senators 6-3. Blues over the Predators 4-1. Stars beat the Ducks 4-3 in overtime. It was a 6-2 win for the Kraken over the Chicago Blackhawks. Oilers beat the Hockey Club of Utah 7-1, and Canucks slapping a few past the Jets to win 6-2. Hockey action tonight. You got the Maple Leafs hosting the Avalanche at 7, and then at 9:30 the Wild take on the Kraken. NBA action. Hawks beat the Hornets 134-102. Celtics over the Nets. Warriors beat the Bucks, and the Clippers over the Cavaliers. NBA action tonight. Magic and Rockets. Pacers taking on the Mavericks. You got the Heat and the Pistons. Thunder hosting the 76ers. Spurs and Knicks in San Antonio at 8. Timberwolves taking on the Pelicans. Jazz and Wizards. Kings and Cavaliers. Trailblazers and Grizzlies tonight. Suns taking on the Bulls in Phoenix. And the Lakers hosting the Denver Nuggets at 10 o'clock this evening. We've got Christa Lundy from the Meadville Chamber of Commerce. Susan Williams from the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. We've got Kelly Clark and Dr. Charlie Gates joining us in the 8 o'clock hour from Titusville Area Hospital. So, yeah. We've got a busy morning ahead. Looking forward to catching up with everybody here this morning. We'll bring you the latest headlines, let you know what's going on Wall Street, and we'll have your forecast along with all our guests here this morning. Happy Wednesday on this 19th day of March.
Waking up with the morning drill. Waking up with the morning drill. Waking up with the morning drill. Waking up with the morning drill.
A highly anticipated phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin ended with a limited agreement for Russia to halt strikes against energy infrastructure in Ukraine, which Kyiv quickly said it would be willing to consider. The Kremlin said Putin ordered the Russian military to halt the strikes against energy facilities in Ukraine. But Putin stopped short of accepting a broader U.S.-backed 30-day ceasefire that Ukraine has said it is ready to accept. In a statement after Tuesday's call, the White House said, quote, the leaders agreed that the movement to peace will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire, as well as technical negotiations on implementation of a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, full ceasefire, and permanent peace. The Kremlin said Putin had raised concerns about a truce being used by Ukraine to mobilize more soldiers and rearm itself. Putin also said that any resolution of the conflict would require an end to all military and intelligence assistance to Ukraine. Later, Trump said on Truth Social that the call was productive, with an understanding that the leaders will be, quote, working quickly to have a complete ceasefire and ultimately an end to the war. Trump's overtures to Putin since returning to the White House have left traditional U.S. allies wary. Ukraine and its Western allies have long described Russia's invasion as an imperialist land grab, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Putin of deliberately prolonging the war. After Tuesday's call, the Kremlin said that Russia and Ukraine would conduct another prisoner exchange on Wednesday, trading 175 people from each side.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Winter rages on in northwest Pennsylvania, and luckily Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning is only a phone call away when your heating emergency strikes. Whether it's residential or light commercial, new construction, repair, or replacement, Vanderhoof has the experience to get the job done right. Call today to set up an appointment or visit the Vanderhoof website to learn more. At Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning, we look forward to fulfilling all of your HVAC needs and projects now and into the future. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville. ProThreads Print Shop is the area's premier screen printing and embroidery company. Locally owned, ProThreads prides themselves in specializing in school and travel sportswear and fan gear, as well as business and corporate apparel. Get your team mascot or company logo screen printed, embroidered, or engraved on just about anything. ProThreads Print Shop is now open by appointment at 130 East State Street in Pleasantville, where you'll find rocket gear to wear year-round. Check them out on Facebook or visit them at ProThreadsPrintShop.com for superior service with personalized attention. Talk to the pros at ProThreads Print Shop.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
At the Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville, our programs are designed with your future in mind, offering a dynamic blend of theoretical knowledge and practical skills across a variety of in-demand fields. From healthcare to manufacturing, our curriculum is tailored to meet the evolving needs of the industry.
ensuring that our graduates are not just job ready, but future ready. This is where your future begins. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville. Go succeed.
We're feeling extra lucky this month at Community Chevrolet. And thanks to our legendary trade values, you'll feel like doing a jig of your own.
I do not dance on command, but if the moment calls for it.
This March, there's silver at the end of the rainbow in the form of the all-new 2025 Chevy Silverado. And our team is channeling the luck of the Irish to get you approved.
I call this move the Shamrock Boogie.
All this month, strike gold when you visit Community Chevrolet.
U.S. stocks snapped a two-session streak of gains, with the Dow dropping 0.6%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq plunging 1.7%. Investors exercised caution ahead of a monetary policy decision from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday, while continuing to gauge the potential impact of President Donald Trump's tariff policies. Michael Landsberg is Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management.
Tariff uncertainty has not been a great thing. I think people are worried about what's going to happen. And so I think having a little bit of cash still pays a good rate of return. I think people have looked at that and said, we may have to hunker down a little bit longer than we thought to get some clarity around tariffs. And so that's what people are going to do.
Stocks had shown some signs of stabilizing after weeks of declines that sent the S&P 500 and Nasdaq into correction territory. The blue chip Dow is now just over 2% away from also entering a correction. Mega-cap tech stocks were among the hardest hit on Tuesday, with Nvidia sliding almost 3.5%. Speaking at the company's annual software developer conference, CEO Jensen Huang defended the company's lead in selling AI chips. Tesla tumbled more than 5% after brokerage RBC slashed its price target on the EV maker stock, citing reduced expectations for its full self-driving pricing and robotaxi market share. Its shares are now down nearly 45% on the year. And shares of Alphabet fell more than 2% after the company said it would buy Wiz for about $32 billion in its biggest deal ever as the Google parent doubles down on cybersecurity.
Joining us this morning is the Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce. It's Christa Lundy. Hi, Christa. How are you?
I am well, and we could visit for hours before the show even comes on. We're like mid-conversation. Good morning. It was a beautiful drive over. Going to be a lovely day.
Yeah, it's going to be a lovely year for you. There's so many great events. We were just talking like every month there's something going on. Yeah. And again, it's a lot of opportunities for chamber members to get involved, as much or as little as they want, but really the opportunities there to meet people. And I'll tell you, this is not frustrating, but when you talk to business owners, they're like, marketing today is so different from 5 years ago, absolutely. 10 years ago. But there's some things that are still the same, networking and having those opportunities.
Making connections, building relationships.
Boy, and the chamber is a great way to do that, yeah. So you got some events coming up where people can do that.
And that's what we want to do for our members and for the community that we promote. And not just in Meadville. I just mentioned last week was our after hours of the month. We were over in Cambridge Springs. Yeah. And I love when we get a really great turnout for an event that's not in Meadville, because sometimes the attendance tends to be less. Well, it was not for this one. Thanks to Jason and Deanna Oles, we had a wonderful after hours over at Riverside Brewing. And I said, I've been there. My son plays music there. I've gone to several music events, had dinner, great brunch. Had not ever toured the entire place and been downstairs and behind the scenes, where they brew the beer, and then went outside to see the beautiful new outdoor kitchen. So it did exactly what we want our after hours to do. We had probably 45 to 50 people there, and Many people had never been there because we had some new members that traveled in or some people that just hadn't been. So we toured the facility. We had some of their wood-fired pizzas and some dips and some of their pretzels with their maple mustard. So they gave away 4 prizes. And those are free to attend every single month. So looking forward to those throughout the rest of the year. We're booking those for next year. But we have an after hours every month that is free to our members and someone who's interested in joining. We had a couple potential members that were there, and then one of them has joined since, and the other one I think they're going to in the meantime. But those are events, those in the Business Women's Roundtable group and the HR networking. Come check those out if you are interested in joining the chamber, because you're not just going to meet the chamber staff, you're going to meet some of our ambassadors are walking around and welcoming people. Some of our board members are there, or just ask fellow chamber members that are there, like, hey, how long have you been coming to these? Like, what's your favorite one? What do you do? Basic things. And if there's ever someone you want to meet, or you are a new chamber member, we kind of can tell and we'll say, hey, everyone exchange business cards with a few people you don't know. But yeah, we had a great event last week, and I don't even know where that question started that I went on about that.
Just networking.
Just networking. I mean, that's networking at its finest. So, yeah.
And then, if somebody's like, boy, we should have an event like that just to generate that kind of traffic, it's something you can't just call you and say, hey, can we do this tomorrow?
No.
It has to be planned well ahead of time.
Our after hours and our Business Women's Roundtable groups are booked through the rest of 2025. We have a couple of them booked already in 2026, but we would love to fill our 2026. So if you are having a big anniversary, or if you know of something happening next year, or you just haven't held one in a while, please reach out to us at the Chamber. Stephanie handles all of those events and registering for those and filling out the forms and letting you know what all is entailed in that. So just reach out to us, and we'd love to get you on the schedule for 2026. And Luke, we always talk about the leadership program. I'm so excited to say we just put the forms out on the counter a few weeks ago. We haven't even thrown it out there yet because this class is still going. Well, I have 2 completed forms already. People that want to be in the program next year.
Wow.
Like, they've already sent them back. So I'm so excited about that. We had our Leadership Meadville meeting last night, and I mentioned we already have 2 forms, and we've not even completed this year. So that's just a great start to that. Looking forward to that.
Is there a cutoff number for that? Or
20.
20. Okay.
Well, I can only take 20 people because that's what fits on the bus, in all honesty.
Okay.
And we'd like to keep it a smaller, intimate group for the group projects and for things that they do throughout the year.
Gotcha.
It just makes it easier. And they are doing a tremendous job for the Chili Chowder Soup Cook-Off, which is tomorrow already.
I can't be right.
Yeah, March 20th at the Italian Civic Club. We have 15 restaurants participating, and our entryway room there's probably 50 to 60 gift baskets already there, and a few more coming in today. So thank you to our community, our business members who have been so generous in donating items for that. There's a $400 lottery board that's huge that Gary Svets donated from Svets Consulting. So he is the facilitator for the class. So that's one of the options. The class actually all put money together, and they got a Blackstone and some utensils to go with it, and then a gift card to Grocery Outlet for groceries for that. So that was a fun other gift. And there's the auction. Besides the chili chowder and soup that you get to sample from all the restaurants, then there are samples from Erie Beer, who is our signage sponsor. So, and then Sherry's and Voodoo. There's some beverages for the adults that are in the room, and dinner for the family. It's only $20. You'll get your tickets today. We actually close tomorrow in the morning because it'll take us several trips to get everything over to the ICC and get set up, and the class will be there in the afternoon helping us. So we close at 11 a.m. tomorrow, but you want to get your tickets today if possible. They are more tomorrow, so if you know you're going to attend, they're only $5 more, so it's really not a big deal, and it's worth that.
And it's a great cause.
It is.
As you mentioned.
And proceeds from this event benefit our leadership program. That's why the class works on it. This class event provides scholarships for future people that are in the class, and also to keep the cost at a low cost so our businesses can afford that. A lot of entrepreneurs want to be part of this class. A lot of nonprofits want to be part of this class. We keep it at a low cost because of this class. And the restaurants participating, not just like 15 of them doing a chili chowder or soup. Most of them are doing at least 2 things, and a couple of them are doing all 3 categories. So come hungry. We have Hitchies is a new participant this year. Looking forward to that. Juniper Village, Morning Glory's Trauma and Recovery Cafe, and their groceries are coming from Grocery Outlet. They are working together. Grocery Outlet wanted to participate, but didn't have a serve-safe kitchen, so they donated all the groceries so Morning Glories could make their new nonprofit restaurant, could make the food.
And I think that makes you smile when you see
it does make me smile.
chamber members working together.
And connections, and that'll be a connection moving forward, too. Parkhurst Dining, Rising River Brewing, Smoky Martin's Barbecue, Riverside Brewing Company, The Crooked Paddle, the Titusville Mill, Triple Deuce Saloon, Venango Valley Inn and Golf Course, Wicked Hollow Bar and Grill, the Italian Civic Club, and Meadville Eats. So looking forward to that. And just, it's going to be great. The girls are really looking forward to it, too. I know we are really busy, but this is one we take the time to go, like, Stephanie's soup is her favorite food, so she will be going and trying all the soups. I will be trying all the chowders, and Julie's like, I'm just trying everything. So,
well, and it also sounds like it's quite a variety of businesses involved from like all over Crawford County.
Right.
So that's awesome.
And we've got not just restaurants. Example, we were talking about, we've got the Italian Civic Club, which is a private club. We have Smoky Martin's, which is more, they have their food truck, but their restaurant. We've got a couple breweries that are great breweries, but are great restaurants as well. Then we've got the new Morning Glories nonprofit cafe. Then we have Parkhurst Dining, which is a catering service. So then we have Juniper Village. So they're not a restaurant where you're thinking of going in, but you can try food from all of these, and they are all wanting that People's Choice Award. But there's 2 awards at this, for the Chocolate Frolic, there's just best in each category. For this one, there is best chili, chowder, and soup, and then there's also most creative in each. So usually we get some very unique recipes and different things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. That's Thursday night. So
tomorrow night?
That's crazy.
At the ICC, 5 o'clock.
And then you're on into, you think with such a big event like the Diamond Awards coming up that, that's going to be the focus. But you've got ribbon cuttings and just everything.
Next Monday, the 24th, we will be at Inspire Salon and Inspire Med Spa, one of our favorite places to go. Crystal and her team will welcome us. I know they're having door prizes. They're having some demos. We'll get to meet a lot of their staff and see a lot of their products that they use and some of the items they have there for sale. So looking forward to that, being there with the ladies at Inspire on Monday night. That's for our Business Women's Roundtable group. So, and I know Stephanie is having some new service that they do. She's going to be their demo person. So that will be interesting. And we always have good food and a beverage and just mix and mingle. But I expect there'll be well over 50 women at this. So ladies, if you're listening, please join us. Whether you work for a chamber member business or if you don't, come join us. I'll let you know. And if you're not, that's on me, not you. So I hope to talk to some more businesses and continue our membership growing.
Is it hard to be at a place like that and not get a massage?
Well, we don't have time to.
I know, but
there's a perfect time to make that appointment for that massage or that pedicure or that, hair service, whatever you're looking to do.
Okay. Yeah, that's that just looks relaxing. Especially maybe after eating all that chili and just
Yes, agreed. That is Monday the 24th. Tuesday the 25th at noon is our HR consortium. And Tim Geibel of CATA is our speaker. He was supposed to be last month and something happened. So I just improvised and talked about the chamber and what all we have going on. I talked about the chili cook-off and the Diamond Awards and different things. It was a really great meeting. But Tim will be giving an update on CATA and a program that they are trying to initiate to get workers to businesses prior to their regular first run. So I'm sure a lot of businesses need people at work before 8 a.m. So they want to talk to people about that and just give an update of what they're doing, not only in Crawford County, but across the region. So Tim is a phenomenal speaker, is a Leadership Meadville alumni. So looking forward to that on the 25th.
And Christa, it'd be so easy, I think, for somebody in that position to say, no, these are our routes, these are the times.
Right.
But instead, he's looking at the workforce needs. He's looking at our healthcare needs in the county,
Absolutely.
working with the hospital, looking, asking questions with the chamber, finding things out, working with companies and saying, hey, maybe we can help develop some things. Also, there's some people afraid to test technology and incorporate that. And here, you got Tim who's bringing that aspect to transportation here in Crawford County. And it's not just limited to big cities anymore. It's
correct.
Now local. So
yeah, we have to be very thankful for them being here. So
yeah, man, just good stuff.
Yeah. And then next month is Diamond Awards. I say a lot of these events are my favorite events, but this, because they are, because I love what I do, and I think we're doing a lot for the small staff that we have. But Diamond Awards is just its own animal. Like, it's just unique. It is where we get to recognize our members for all the accomplishments, all the achievements, all the giving back to the community, whether it is financially or whether it is having their employees be on boards of directors and, sponsoring things throughout the year. Just example, Channellock and Accutech just had that big competition. Whose employees can bring the most food for a food drive for Center for Family Services? That's a prime example of businesses doing great things in our community.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, both of them have won the award already. But that's just a prime example. I mean, they have so many things that they are doing in the community, and they are two of our larger companies. But there are companies that have 3 people or 10 people or 25 people. You don't have to have 300 plus to be doing great things and giving back and supporting and whatever that might be. But we need to know that. So let us know if you know of an individual who has gone above and beyond. So we have the emerging leaders that are doing great things, those people under 40. And I know the new EPIC group, which used to be the KCs, which is now a new name, Entrepreneurs Professionals in Crawford County. So that's their new name. But I know a few of those folks have been nominated for emerging leaders. So I love reading about everybody, and I'm so glad I'm not a judge. But that and our nonprofits. I mean, we have so many nonprofits, from small one-person organizations to multi-million-dollar organizations that have 100 employees in our region. And we need all of them, but it's great and humbling to read about what they are doing. So we have those, small, mid-size, and large business, and I'll announce it first here. We are adding a new award this year to the Diamond Awards. I've been wanting to add something new again, and this is the year of refreshing and re-energizing and changing the look of things, and we've wanted to add a new award for the last few years. And at our ambassador meeting last week, we are going to have a Chamber Community Champion this year, and we will announce that next week, who that's going to be, because I need the logistics of it settled a little bit more. But a lot of things happen in our area where it might be just one instance, someone saves the day, or they are doing their regular job, and most of us don't think of how vital that is to what happens in our community, because we have our Raymond P. Schaefer Award winner. So they will be announced in the Meadville Tribune the first or second week in April and recognized at our annual Diamond Awards. And those people are incredible and have given back usually for decades.
Yeah.
That seems to be the trend with that award, and we appreciate that very, very much for people that have been on boards of directors. They have done, remarkable things on our community for years and years, but sometimes there's just someone who does something remarkable, and they might be a younger person, or they might be just starting out and have done something great. So I'm very anxious to tell you who that is next week, and what they did. And we were in tears at our ambassador meeting because of the situation and the circumstances of this. So I'm very excited and proud and honored to be part of the county and maybe some fire departments and the chamber that will be giving this person an award at our Diamond Awards.
All right.
Hot off the
Get your
presses,
tickets.
here first.
Get your
Get your
tickets.
tickets. Our annual Diamond Awards is April 23rd. It's at the newly renovated Hotel Conneaut, which I absolutely love. They are doing a tremendous job there. I've always loved it, but even like being out on the boat or being over that direction is just gorgeous now. And once you step foot in there, really looking forward to that. Julian's will provide a wonderful dinner for us. So get your tickets now. Please don't wait till 2 days before Diamond Awards. I know a lot of people do, but this is something where we have seating charts, we have sponsors, we have attendees, we have award winners that you may want to be there to congratulate your business colleagues and friends. So please try not to wait until the week of the event, because this will sell out. I have no doubt. And I hate to be that one that tells you the week of, sorry, we were booked like 10 days ago, because we can probably only get 320 people in there. And I imagine we will have that many people there with all of our award winners, especially this new award taking up a couple tables that we normally don't have. So April 23rd, annual Diamond Awards. Please get your tickets now. Invitations will be in the mail next week, and we are looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's been like standing room only at times. I mean, it's
It has.
packed, so it's great. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Christa Lundy with us here this morning. Just a few minutes left. These segments go so fast,
I know.
Christa.
I could do an hour. If you ever have an opening, just give me a shout. If
Yeah.
someone doesn't show up, I'm your girl, Luke.
I mean, you got ribbon cuttings coming. Real quick, I just want to say, you said something in that last statement about, it's not just, a thing for big businesses,
Right,
big
right.
companies. And I was going to ask you earlier about this when you were talking about the leadership program. If you're a mom and pop business and you've got, one staff member, or it's just you and your significant other, or you and a friend or whatever, the leadership program is also for you. I mean, it's not just for...
And there are scholarships available.
Yes.
Don't think that that's a big investment. Yes, it is, but it's a big investment in your company, your organization, or yourself.
Yeah.
And it's well worth it. But there are opportunities for scholarships.
Yep, absolutely. All right. And I tell you what, Diamond Awards is a great showcase when you see
is.
people speak up and say, I was part of the leadership program.
It
and
is.
It's awesome. Ribbon cuttings, you got one coming up
We do
in
at
April.
Vault Ventures.
Yeah.
What's the date, Luke?
The 14th of April.
I thought so, but I wanted to double check with you. Looking for, they're a new chamber member in Cochranton. Again, we have members all over. It is the former First National Bank. So I went over and met with the owner and toured that facility. So many great options she's doing in there. It's now an event space. There are a couple other businesses in that location as well, but looking forward to that.
Hey, real quick, somebody said something to me, and I said, well, maybe I'll have Christa or Susan talk about this. Sometimes businesses think that they're cheating on their own chambers if they join another chamber.
Oh, no. Please join as many as you are able to and that fit your budget for what you are looking for. Every chamber is different. Our Meadville chamber is very different than the Venango chamber, than the Titusville chamber, than the Franklin chamber, than the Clarion chamber, which are my close friends that run those and that are close in proximity, or the Erie chamber, whatever it might be. Join the one in your hometown where you are, obviously, if what they're doing fits what you're looking for and your budget.
Or you have clients in those areas.
Or if you have clients in those areas. So, but always look out a little further reach, because it's a very reasonable investment into your company or into yourself. And we all do things a little differently. And you want your name of your company to be more than just in the town where you are. You want to be in our Foundations magazine. You want to be on our website. You want to have us sharing things on social media and as part as many. And please join. We want you to join ours, obviously, but join the ones in your hometown first.
Christa, great catching up with you.
You too.
So much going on. All the best to you.
You too. Have a great week. See you next Wednesday.
Sounds good. Take care.
I'm not ashamed to say I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew.
A highly anticipated phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin ended with a limited agreement for Russia to halt strikes against energy infrastructure in Ukraine, which Kyiv quickly said it would be willing to consider. The Kremlin said Putin ordered the Russian military to halt the strikes against energy facilities in Ukraine. But Putin stopped short of accepting a broader U.S.-backed 30-day ceasefire that Ukraine has said it is ready to accept. In a statement after Tuesday's call, the White House said, quote, "The leaders agreed that the movement to peace will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire, as well as technical negotiations on implementation of a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, full ceasefire, and permanent peace." The Kremlin said Putin had raised concerns about a truce being used by Ukraine to mobilize more soldiers and rearm itself. Putin also said that any resolution of the conflict would require an end to all military and intelligence assistance to Ukraine. Later, Trump said on Truth Social that the call was productive, with an understanding that the leaders will be, quote, "working quickly to have a complete ceasefire and ultimately an end to the war." Trump's overtures to Putin since returning to the White House have left traditional U.S. allies wary. Ukraine and its Western allies have long described Russia's invasion as an imperialist land grab, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Putin of deliberately prolonging the war. After Tuesday's call, the Kremlin said that Russia and Ukraine would conduct another prisoner exchange on Wednesday, trading 175 people from each side.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
For a unique shopping experience with great gift ideas, decor, and so much more, come check out what Titusville Market Square's nearly 100 vendors have to offer. Featuring unique items from local agribusiness, craftsmen, and vendors. We also offer products from 4 regional dairies, including a full line of Titusville dairy products. We carry a complete line of Amish wedding products, local honey, and maple syrup, as well as nostalgic Dog and Suds root beer and Fiestada pizzas. Don't forget to pick up fresh Clark's Donuts, delivered daily. Titusville Market Square, the new name in one-stop shopping.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh! Me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
Right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
U.S. stocks snapped a two-session streak of gains, with the Dow dropping 0.6%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq plunging 1.7%. Investors exercised caution ahead of a monetary policy decision from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday, while continuing to gauge the potential impact of President Donald Trump's tariff policies. Michael Landsberg is Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management.
Tariff uncertainty has not been a great thing. I think people are worried about what's going to happen. And so I think having a little bit of cash still pays a good rate of return. I think people have looked at that and said, we may have to hunker down a little bit longer than we thought to get some clarity around tariffs. And so that's what people are going to do.
Stocks had shown some signs of stabilizing after weeks of declines that sent the S&P 500 and Nasdaq into correction territory. The blue-chip Dow is now just over 2% away from also entering a correction. Mega-cap tech stocks were among the hardest hit on Tuesday, with Nvidia sliding almost 3.5%. Speaking at the company's annual software developer conference, CEO Jensen Huang defended the company's lead in selling AI chips. Tesla tumbled more than 5% after brokerage RBC slashed its price target on the EV maker stock, citing reduced expectations for its full self-driving pricing and robotaxi market share. Its shares are now down nearly 45% on the year. And shares of Alphabet fell more than 2% after the company said it would buy Wiz for about $32 billion in its biggest deal ever as the Google parent doubles down on cybersecurity.
Nvidia's stock moves lower after its CEO defends the company's position as AI chip leader. Michael Landsberg of Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management, why the negative investor reaction?
Lisa, I think it's not necessarily a reaction to the announcement as much as we're in a trend now where the economy's slowing a bit. There's concerns about tariffs. And bluntly, everybody and their brother owns these names. So what's happened is there's an overexposure to them. I think people have realized, okay, maybe I need to take some of the exposure down. We're not less bullish on AI, but in the short term, you certainly have to be after the run it's had. And, chips, certainly have some subject of some tariff issues. So, growth is slowing a bit. There's a tariff issue. So there's enough reasons. I don't think Jensen can wave his hand and just kind of get the stock to move higher. I think there's some fundamental issues about this, at least in the short term, that I think people need to look at and say, hey, I've got too much of it. I need to probably reposition myself to be set up for the rest of the year.
So it seems like you just answered my next question, which is you don't view this as an opportunity to buy on the dip because other chip makers are down today, including Broadcom.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy tech here on the dip. I think this is, we've had a couple good years. I think this is an area where we're entering an environment where growth is slowing, yet and inflation is slowing. Typically, that's not a great time to be looking at tech. I think there's other areas of the economy you could look at. Specifically, I like out of the country right now. I think Europe is really an opportunity here. They've got growth. They've kind of been behind us a couple of years, and I don't have any of the issues, with growth slowing that we're having here in the U.S. So I think you don't want to buy the dip here in the U.S. I think you want to look and buy some things that are working overseas.
We had two positive stock sessions before stocks went into the red today. Where is the bottom to this market?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a bottom for a little bit, specifically in tech. I think you've got some issues to work around. I think some decelerating growth is going to kind of hit the market. Plus, we don't really know what's going to happen with tariffs. So I think when you're in an environment where there's a reason to sell, growth, slowing growth, tariffs, there's not really a real impetus to buy. And so I think that's what's happening is you've got some more sellers, if you will, to raise cash and position themselves with some unknowns in front of us. Coupled with the fact that we've had a couple of good years. So it's not hurting anybody to take some money off the table. They're playing, if you will, with house money, taking it off the table, putting it aside till we get some clarity around tariffs. I think it makes some sense for a lot of investors. I think that's what you're going to see. There's a rotation, if you will, to some stuff that's held up. We favored, for example, insurance stocks and utilities in the U.S. because they've held up during this period of time. And I think, again, most investors are overweight tech. And so that makes sense that a lot of the selling is coming from tech land.
So I hear you talk about sectors. Is this also an individual stock pickers market? And if so, do you have individual stocks that you recommend?
Absolutely. I think when you get in an environment where things are starting to decline, individual stocks are critically more important. For example, in utilities, we like NextEra, which is the holding company of Florida Power and Light. It's got a great demographic story. Lots of people want to move to Florida. It's warm. We've got, there's no income taxes. And so you've got a stock that's trading about 15% off of its 52-week high. You're getting a dividend. And it's also a little bit of a play on nuclear and solar. So I think you get a little bit of best of both worlds without having the risk of a solar only or a nuclear only play. So we like that one. Progressive Insurance, inside the insurance space, we like. I never vote against insurance companies. They always figure out how to make money. They raise their premiums, whatever it would be, and they can consistently have double-digit EPS growth. We think that's a name that we'll continue to like and should hold up well here. And again, we don't like small cap. I would tell clients and investors to stay away from the small cap market. It's been a loser for the last 3.25 years, the Russell 2000 index. There's no reason to think that because it's gotten cheaper, it's going to be any better. I think you could do well to stay away from that.
Exchange operator NASDAQ, long known for its Times Square location, on Tuesday said it would open a regional headquarters in Dallas. It's the latest sign that Texas is fast emerging as a major financial hub, rivaling New York. Elon Musk's Tesla and SpaceX, as well as tech giants Oracle and Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, have all moved to the Lone Star State, attracted by a favorable tax climate, lower costs of living, and reduced energy costs. Dallas, in particular, has attracted big banks looking to open large outposts in its financial district, dubbed Y'all Street. For NASDAQ, the move could also help it better compete with the New York Stock Exchange, which last month also committed to adding a Dallas exchange. And the new Texas Stock Exchange, a venture backed by BlackRock and Citadel Securities, is gearing up for a launch early next year.
If you like to shop online, you might very well meet Milo on your doorstep in the near future. The four-legged robot was designed by a Swiss robotics company to carry your packages from the delivery truck to your door, easing the burden on delivery drivers.
It's a very exhausting job, so what we are building is like an augmenting that workflow by having a robot that covers some of these miles so the driver can focus on other things.
That final stretch from delivery truck to a customer's door is often one of the most time and labor-intensive parts of the job. Marko Bielonic is the CEO and co-founder of River Robotics. They designed Milo to tackle that final stretch, known in the logistics industry as the last mile.
In the meantime, the driver can either sort packages in the back, they can do parallel deliveries because a lot of these stops you have to go to multiple locations at once, or the driver can take a rest or chit-chat with the neighbors. Yeah.
The robot uses AI technology to navigate obstacles in its path, and River recently showcased Milo at NVIDIA's annual software developer conference in California.
So we are building this with NVIDIA tools that we use. So we're collaborating already for many years, since 2018, with NVIDIA, building on top of simulation environments where we train for reinforcement learning how this robot reasons when it goes around the world.
Milo is equipped with 4 legs that allow it to hop down from a truck to the ground, wheels that let it whiz down the sidewalk, and a crane-like arm on top that can hand parcels to customers. River robots are already making real-world deliveries in Switzerland, and Bialonich says the company is eyeing expansion in the U.S. to cities including San Francisco and Boston.
NVIDIA founder and CEO Jensen Huang.
NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said Tuesday that the AI chip giant is well placed to navigate a shift in the industry, in which businesses are moving from training AI models to getting detailed answers from them. The company has made billions of dollars selling its costly chips, which have helped ChatGPT and others train their chatbots on huge troves of data to make them smart. Now ChatGPT and its competitors are focusing on having their models use that intelligence to produce answers for users. Some in the technology industry have indicated this may not require a significant increase in computing power. But Huang said at its developers conference that he thinks the industry has it wrong, and it will require 100 times more power than was thought last year.
Even better than that.
Huang also defended the company's lead in selling costly AI chips to customers, which has recently been questioned by investors after China's DeepSeek made a competitive chatbot with allegedly fewer AI chips. Shareholders weren't impressed, as NVIDIA stock closed down more than 3%, though the market overall finished lower. Shares have more than quadrupled in value over the past 3 years. NVIDIA announced new chips that will be available in the second half of this year and feature more memory than the current generation, meaning they can support larger AI models. It also said that automaker General Motors has selected NVIDIA to build its self-driving car fleet.
With Omniverse and Cosmos. So anyhow, remember, everything is in the context, everything is now in the context of AI factories. And the reason for that is it screws up all the end-to-end nomenclature and things like that. So going forward, without going back to Blackwell to fix it,
Yes, I mean it's insane. Like when I got here, I got here yesterday, and it's so many people from all across the world, and I think it's a great, it's basically the place to be if you want to know what happens in AI. And also, like, I tried to get into the keynote at the SAP Center today. Couldn't find the end of the line. I was like, I've been to like a Taylor Swift concert. It hasn't been this bad. So it's definitely music festival vibes here.
You know, the most exciting application of like artificial intelligence is going to be like real world and sort of autonomy. And they're very much creating the building blocks for that.
Being here, I think, really opens your eyes into what's, they're just seeing the very, very tip of the iceberg. And there's a whole lot underneath that still has to surface now. And we're seeing it in all sorts of applications like robotics and the like that that we just described, and those things are even unimaginable where we are. Country with 120 million people, mostly in manual type situations. But it's going to be a real interesting in how this will impact the rest of the world as it radiates from GTC.
Alphabet is back in talks with Israel's Wiz for a deal of more than $30 billion. That's according to a source familiar with the matter. They said talks are advanced between the Google parent and cybersecurity company. Alphabet's latest offer is higher by roughly a third of the $23 billion deal it proposed last year. Wiz called the move off in July over worries it wouldn't clear antitrust hurdles. Neither company publicly acknowledged a deal and didn't immediately reply to Reuters' requests for comment. A source told Reuters the deal hasn't been signed and could still change. If the Wiz move goes ahead, it would help Alphabet push into the cybersecurity market. It would also see it expand its booming cloud infrastructure business, which generated over $43 billion in revenue last year. But a deal that creates a cybersecurity giant is still likely to draw regulatory scrutiny. Wiz provides cloud-based cybersecurity solutions powered by artificial intelligence. It helps companies identify and remove critical risks on cloud platforms. If the deal went ahead, it would be Alphabet's largest acquisition to date. Interest in the cybersecurity industry has surged since the global CrowdStrike outage last year. The disruption made enterprises more concerned about protecting their digital infrastructures.
NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams finally returned to Earth in a SpaceX capsule on Tuesday. The crew enjoyed a soft splashdown off Florida's coast and were welcomed back by a pod of curious dolphins. Their return caps a protracted space mission that was fraught with uncertainty, technical problems, and political spectacle. They were stuck in space for 9 months after their faulty Boeing Starliner craft upended what was meant to be a week-long stay on the International Space Station. Issues with the Starliner's propulsion system led to cascading delays to their return home. Then the mission got caught up in politics after it captured the attention of US President Donald Trump. He called for a quicker return of Wilmore and Williams when he took office. He also alleged, without evidence, that former President Joe Biden abandoned the pair on the ISS for political reasons. NASA acted on Trump's demands by moving Crew 9's replacement mission up sooner, according to the agency's ISS chief, Joel Montalbano, on Tuesday.
See, we work for the president, and who's ever there, we work for them. We had an input from that office. We took a look at it. And, you know, our job is to take all the inputs we get and operate as successful and safely as we can. And that's what we did for this administration, and that's what we would do for any administration.
The agency had swapped a delayed SpaceX capsule for one that would be ready more quickly. They said they sped through its methodical safety review process to heed the president's call. Wilmore told reporters earlier this month on a call from the ISS that he did not believe NASA's decision to keep them on the station had been affected by politics under the Biden administration. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, a close advisor to Trump, had echoed Trump's call for an earlier return. He said the Biden administration spurned a SpaceX offer to provide a dedicated Dragon spacecraft rescue mission last year. NASA officials said the 2 astronauts had to remain on the ISS to maintain adequate staffing levels. They said they did not have the budget or the operational need to send a dedicated rescue spacecraft. Crew Dragon flights cost between $100 million to $150 million. Boeing had hoped Starliner would compete with the SpaceX capsule, but this mission has thrown its development future into uncertainty. NASA's Commercial Crew Program Chief, Steve Stick, said on Tuesday that Starliner needs more tests before it routinely carries U.S. astronauts.
You know, we're certainly looking at Starliner very carefully. We're in the process of looking at that vehicle, looking at the helium system. We've got some candidate seals that we're going to replace. We'll get into some testing here over the summer timeframe with what we call an integrated doghouse at White Sands. So we're looking at that.
Boeing, which congratulated the astronauts' return on X, did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
Germany looks set to vote for a historic spending surge. The DAX and the euro both rose ahead of a vote today in the Bundestag lower house of parliament. The bill still needs to pass through the Bundesrat upper house, but Germany is expected to pass it. That will allow it to unleash hundreds of billions of euros into its economy. Elliot Hentoff is head of macro policy research at State Street Global Advisors. Elliot, this bill is expected to be worth around 500 billion euros. Now that sounds a lot, but how exactly do you see it making a difference?
It's actually worth more because there's the infrastructure fund, which is 500 billion as you speak. But then there's also changes to the debt brake overall and basically the removal of a cap on upward defense spending. So in practice, we're probably talking about a big number, something like $1 trillion over time. It will make a big difference, but not today. This is really about the medium and long term, basically the unshackling of German austerity over the coming years.
Now, you mentioned the second part of today's bill. So what's more significant, the actual money or the vote that will ease the strict borrowing rules that Germany currently has?
Personally, I'm always a big believer in structural issues. So once you change a rule permanently, I feel like that is a much more powerful act than a one-time creation of a, albeit very large fund. So for me, that really is the fact that the German consensus has shifted, including the electorate, that, okay, the debt brake, the way we had it in place in the past, no longer works for us. We're going to loosen the rules. That, I think, is really the big historic break. It kind of ends the post-Eurozone crisis era of the last 15 years.
Now, you said that this was more a medium to long-term plan. So is what's being proposed enough to get Europe's biggest economy up and running properly again now, though?
So for 2025, it probably will not make much of a difference. And frankly, we have risks of tariffs and external problems. So this year will still be quite a a difficult and weak economic performance in Germany and throughout the Eurozone. That's why I've said medium term, until you basically get the budgets passed, the money's available, then the money deployed, we're really talking 2026 onwards. And then, yes, it will have a material impact. I mean, Germany was basically an economy growing, roughly zero the last 5 years. With this, it should be growing at least somewhere between 1 and 1.5%. So that's a sizable change from where we were over the past few years.
Now, you mentioned tariffs in that. Now, we've got this uncertainty of potentially a massive global trade war coming along. How else can Germany and the rest of Europe sort of combat what's going on?
Well, the first thing to do is use your fiscal space, and they're doing that. So that, I think, is already very positive news. That's really within Europe, it was Germany that mainly had this fiscal space. So the fact that the Germans are tapping it is a big one. That is certainly more important than any of the other measures we could be talking about. We could then think about, well, how do you use that fiscal space to combat, which is basically an external negative supply shock. And supply shocks cannot be dealt with by monetary policy. It has to be fiscal that responds. But not only fiscal, Europe at an elite level is also talking about deregulation and market-friendly reforms. So I think the structural reforms and fiscal is really the things I'm looking for.
So President Trump and President Putin are due to speak later today in efforts to stop the war in Ukraine. How much of a boost could this be to Europe's economy?
I would not exaggerate it. It is certainly positive. It's better to have no fighting than fighting, but I would not exaggerate the effect. Any agreement is likely to be very fragile. I would presume we should think of it more as a temporary ceasefire if it does come to an agreement. Very fragile and not durable. Plus, the big macro shock that the war engendered on Europe will not be unwound. It's not like Europe will go back to very cheap Russian gas. It's not like it's going to reopen markets in Russia for European corporates. So the unwinding of the war will not be proportional to the damage the war has caused. But it is a good thing. It lifts sentiment. It de-risks some ventures. There should be room for reconstruction needs, which is positive for a lot of European companies that would be involved in that effort too. So it is a positive, but let's not overstate it.
And that was Elliot Hentov from State Street Global Advisors. And don't forget, you can get more videos on Reuters.com.
Rwandan-backed rebels have pulled out of peace talks with Democratic Republic of Congo's government that had been due to take place on Tuesday. The Congo River Alliance, of which the M23 group is a member, said that was because of European Union sanctions imposed on Monday. Those sanctions targeted M23, which has seized eastern Congo's two biggest cities since the start of the year, as well as Rwandan officials. The rebels said the EU sanctions were aimed at obstructing the much-anticipated talks. M23 has long demanded direct negotiations with Congo's government. However, Congo President Félix Tshisekedi has until recently refused, arguing that M23 is merely a front for Rwanda.
En soutien de leur marionnette du M23.
But after a series of battlefield setbacks and prodding from Tshisekedi's ally Angola, he agreed to send a delegation to the latter's capital Luanda for talks. The Eastern Congo conflict, rooted in the fallout from Rwanda's 1994 genocide and competition for mineral riches, has quickly spiraled since January. Thousands of people have been killed and hundreds of thousands forced from their homes as M23 seized Goma and Bukavu. The United Nations and international powers accuse Rwanda of providing arms and soldiers to fight alongside M23. Rwanda says its forces are acting in self-defense. On Monday, Rwanda hit out at Belgium, which had called for strong action against Kigali. Diplomatic relations were severed and Belgian diplomats given 48 hours to leave. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame accused former colonial power Belgium of continuing to follow and interfere with us. We warned them before, he said, and we are prepared to warn them again. Belgium's Foreign Affairs Minister said Brussels would reciprocate by declaring Rwandan diplomats persona non grata and called Rwanda's move disproportionate.
A highly anticipated phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin ended with a limited agreement for Russia to halt strikes against energy infrastructure in Ukraine, which Kyiv quickly said it would be willing to consider. The Kremlin said Putin ordered the Russian military to halt the strikes against energy facilities in Ukraine. But Putin stopped short of accepting a broader U.S.-backed 30-day ceasefire that Ukraine has said it is ready to accept. In a statement after Tuesday's call, the White House said, quote, "The leaders agreed that the movement to peace will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire, as well as technical negotiations on implementation of a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, full ceasefire, and permanent peace." The Kremlin said Putin had raised concerns about a truce being used by Ukraine to mobilize more soldiers and rearm itself. Putin also said that any resolution of the conflict would require an end to all military and intelligence assistance to Ukraine. Later, Trump said on Truth Social that the call was productive, with an understanding that the leaders will be, quote, "working quickly to have a complete ceasefire and ultimately an end to the war." Trump's overtures to Putin since returning to the White House have left traditional U.S. allies wary. Ukraine and its Western allies have long described Russia's invasion as an imperialist land grab, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Putin of deliberately prolonging the war. After Tuesday's call, the Kremlin said that Russia and Ukraine would conduct another prisoner exchange on Wednesday, trading 175 people from each side.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayan Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks snapped a two-session streak of gains, with the Dow dropping 0.6%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq plunging 1.7%. Investors exercised caution ahead of a monetary policy decision from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday, while continuing to gauge the potential impact of President Donald Trump's tariff policies. Michael Landsberg is Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management.
Tariff uncertainty has not been a great thing. I think people are worried about what's going to happen. And so I think having a little bit of cash still pays a good rate of return. I think people have looked at that and said, we may have to hunker down a little bit longer than we thought to get some clarity around tariffs. And so that's what people are going to do.
Stocks had shown some signs of stabilizing after weeks of declines that sent the S&P 500 and Nasdaq into correction territory. The blue chip Dow is now just over 2% away from also entering a correction. Mega-cap tech stocks were among the hardest hit on Tuesday, with Nvidia sliding almost 3.5%. Speaking at the company's annual software developer conference, CEO Jensen Huang defended the company's lead in selling AI chips. Tesla tumbled more than 5% after brokerage RBC slashed its price target on the EV maker stock, citing reduced expectations for its full self-driving pricing and robotaxi market share. Its shares are now down nearly 45% on the year. And shares of Alphabet fell more than 2% after the company said it would buy Wiz for about $32 billion in its biggest deal ever as the Google parent doubles down on cybersecurity.
Kelly Clark is Marketing and Communications Specialist with Titusville Area Hospital. She joins us this morning along with Dr. Charlie Gates. Good morning. Good to see you guys this morning.
Good to see you, Luke. Hi.
Hi. Boy, there's so much going on, and it's just March, It's a busy year ahead. Looking forward to a lot of great things. You got some big events coming up. Dr. Gates, you've been so busy with your practice and never a dull moment. Always something changing or growing, and we're going to get into that here in just a few moments. But Kelly, let's start with some things that are coming up for the hospital.
Yeah, so our big fundraising event for the foundation is our annual golf scramble. That's happening on May 21st, and we already have 15 teams.
Wow.
Yeah, so we can only take so many teams. We can only fit so many in, unfortunately. So if you're looking to put a team in, definitely send in your registration. We also have quite a few sponsors already, so thank you to everyone that has already sponsored. We're always looking for new sponsors, so even if you have a raffle basket or a raffle item you'd like to donate to the cause, absolutely feel free to do that. You can call my office. We can come pick it up for you, however you want to donate.
sign up, I know last year you had some teams that wanted to play, but you were pretty full.
We were. I think we had to turn away 3 teams, maybe.
That's great. Well, it's not great, but it is great.
Yeah, it's great to have a popular event. Unfortunately, you do have to turn some teams away. So this year, I feel like all the teams that I had to turn away are already registered.
Wow.
So definitely get your registration in early. The deadline is May 1, I believe, but it's probably going to close prior to May 1. Sponsorships we will take up until, I think, the day of. That's really the main point of this, is to do fundraising, have some fun, get out there, and enjoy spring, which is coming quickly.
Yeah, raise money for a great cause. Every year it seems like you pick some great projects. And really, though, everybody has such a great time. They know that the money is going to be used for great things, so they don't even ask probably. But this year, what's the project?
So this year, our outpatient therapy expansion project, that will be starting actually soon and will wrap up pretty quickly. We're hoping to have it done by the end of December.
Wow.
So what that is our current outpatient physical therapy office. We're expanding that to include speech therapy and also occupational therapy. We're adding a couple more items for the occupational therapy to use for their services. One of them is a pediatric sensory room. So that's really exciting. It's the first in the area, in our service area right here. So for families that need those services, they're going to be really close to home, and it's definitely a need in the area. So we're really excited to add that.
That's great. Well, speaking of therapy, real quick, Dr. Gates, you spent some time with the physical therapy staff, and that's a great picture. Looks like you were with some trouble there, but
Yeah, it did. It was a great visit. We had some Subway lunch, and it was great to see the team again face to face, because really we are mutually dependent on each other for our success of our patients. I'm a big believer in physical therapy, both before and after surgery. Physical therapy is one of the key levers that I pull to try to avoid surgery. I mean, a lot of people have not put in the time and effort to work on themselves, and therapy helps them do that. And almost everyone does better with somebody watching you and coaching you, and that's what the therapists do. And then, of course, after surgery, my role is 2 hours in the operating room, but after that, it's up to the patient and the therapist to work together to rehabilitate that joint that I worked on. And so a key relationship, and I had a great visit with the team, and I'm excited for the expansion because it's really going to, I think, benefit our orthopedic patients.
That's great. And I noticed you said team in there quite a bit. It really is. It's important for what you do and for the patient as well. So it's an overall concern for the patient. It's from the the start through the end. It seems like the hospital is there for that patient.
It is. I mean, I think at a high level, life is a team sport. And as I get a little bit older, I realize that more and more, that you're as good as the team you have around you. And that's one of the things that I'm enjoying about being in Titusville, is the opportunity to really influence the direction of the orthopedic program and to build a great team to take great care of orthopedic patients. And so far, we're doing that. And like you said, from the anesthesia team in the operating room to the OR personnel, to my office staff, to the therapy team, it's a team. And I'm part of that. I have a big responsibility. I take responsibility for everything that happens in the team, but definitely I'm dependent on other people in a good way. And they have delivered, and I'm confident that they'll continue to deliver as we grow the orthopedic program here.
That's great. And we're going to come back to learn more about what's been going on with your practice. But Kelly, just a couple other things coming up. Big anniversary for the hospital?
Yes. So actually coming very soon. March 26th marks the date in 1900 of when the hospital began.
Wow.
They began the charter for the hospital in 1900, which was 125 years ago. So this year we are definitely celebrating. We have a couple things planned for our staff and for the hospital. We'll definitely have some things out on Facebook about that, but really big year. And like I said, it kicks off March 26th. Marks the actual date. So pretty exciting. I mean, I've done a lot of research leading up to this about the hospital, and just so many interesting facts and how it got started and what it has become from start to now, and looking at these, I know I talk about a lot of different projects, but, just being able to see the projects that they did, over the past 125 years is really amazing.
Yeah, that'd be incredible to look back at that history.
Oh, it is. So many really amazing pictures. A lot of the people before me have done scrapbooks and photo albums, and just so much really great history has been kept in the hospital.
That's great. And what's fascinating is you've had access to Larry Flederman and Steve Coleman, who were alive back then, to talk about that. Yeah, that's allergy testing.
Yeah, so I had Dr. Paneru on the show with me last month. She is our new ENT doctor at the hospital. She is now offering allergy testing in her hospital, which is something new that we haven't offered before. It is the skin prick test. So if you're having issues with seasonal allergies, runny nose, coughing, skin irritations, things like that, you can have allergy testing done right in her office here. So something new. The staff has been, really working on getting this done, because they see so many instances where, that's a necessity. So, yeah, exciting to offer that now, and I'm sure it's going to be very busy.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and Facebook page is a great place to go to get additional information as well.
Yes, so everything new, every service we add, every project we do, we try to share that on Facebook. We also do press releases, things like that within, other avenues in the Titusville News Journal. I was going to call it the Herald. The Titusville News Journal. We usually have all of our new services in there as well.
Career opportunities also posted.
Yes, career opportunities. We have quite a few RN positions for nursing. We're always accepting, new nurses, especially new graduates. It's a really great place to start, since it's a smaller hospital, critical access hospital. We are also hiring nursing supervisors. We have some other clinical positions available. So if you go onto our website, you can go on our website, or our Facebook page also has a lot of those listings available.
That's fantastic. All right, Go there and check that out. Dr. Gates, catch us up on your practice. You've been pretty busy, not only with your practice, but also inviting the public to come and learn more about what you do. You're also part of OAM, which is a recognized group from Meadville when it comes to orthopedic medicine, and there's just so much going on with your practice. Catch us up with everything that's been happening.
Yeah, sure, Luke, and thanks for the opportunity to come here this morning. And as you mentioned, I'm one of the 5 surgeons of Orthopedic Associates of Meadville. We're a great group. Between the 5 of us, we cover everything, and I am spending most of my time here in Titusville to develop and grow the program here, and that's really a point of pride for me. It's very meaningful to me to be here where there's great need and to serve the community while still being part of a world-class group like Orthopedic Associates of Meadville. I do operate in Meadville also and take call in Meadville, so that's something that I bring to the community here, is those relationships and that connection. And within our practice, I'm in my 3rd year. Time's flying, and going well, and having fun, doing what we can to get the word out there. The orthopedic surgeon before me stopped operating for health reasons, and so a lot of behavioral patterns and practice patterns of referrals shifted, and we're working to kind of bring those back and doing some fun things like lunchtime meetings, and now we're doing some coffee talks with the doc in the afternoons on Thursdays. And I started a Facebook page, which I had no social media presence at all. And I don't do much on it, but I do use it as a vehicle to let people know what's going on. And even sitting here listening to Kelly, I learned a couple of things about the hospital that I didn't know, like the 125-year history. I think that's fantastic. Very few institutions have been around for 125 years. And so what a remarkable achievement for the hospital, and proud to be a part of that and try to get us another 125. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. And so a couple thoughts here. When you meet with people, I'm sure you offer questions, right? Do you find that people are asking a lot of the same questions about what you do, or do they vary quite a bit?
Yeah, I get a lot of questions repeat themselves because a lot of what I see in orthopedics are similar things. Knee pain, shoulder pain. There's only so many things that can be wrong, and most of the questions that come up are the ones that you'd anticipate and expect. And when I do that, I try to create some information for patients, like on a post or a short video, to kind of answer some of those questions that are anticipated. And for example, for total knee replacements, we've got a packet we give people. Anyone, even whenever the topic comes up at all, we give them this packet. I don't count on the patient to remember what I say during the office, because I think there's good data that people walk out and just don't remember. Right, and that same thing happens to me. So we give them, it's all written down. All the questions of, how long will my recovery take? What happens during surgery? What are my options, etc. So we cover it all, and I invite questions, and I pride myself in always asking the patient, do you have any questions for me before I leave the room, to really open the floor, and don't end the appointment until they're, till they're satisfied.
Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Kelly Clark and Dr. Charlie Gates with us here this morning, Titusville Area Hospital. I hear a lot of people who have gone through the procedure say, I should have done this years ago. And you think back at all the things they've kind of missed out on over the years of dealing with pain, when they could have taken care of it, years prior. What's that first step? If somebody is feeling pain there, or they're not able to do the things they want to do, what would you say to them? Because I would imagine the first step is having a conversation.
Exactly. Come into the office. There's no obligation. Come in, sit down, talk. We have availability. We can see people with short notice, and just come in and have a conversation. Ask what's on your mind. Tell me what's happening. Lots of times the answer is not surgery. Like I said, I'm a conservative surgeon in a good way. And we always explore non-operative routes, and in that way I build some relationships with patients, because some of these issues take years. Like knee arthritis is developing over years, and so come in and have a conversation. I've got a terrific assistant, Andrew, physician assistant. He's in his first job out of school, so he's young. In fact, I tell people that people used to comment to me how young I looked until Andrew was hired, and now I look my age because Andrew looks so young. But he's wonderful and does a great job, very knowledgeable, and so having a conversation with either of us is a great first step for any patient that's having pain or has any questions.
How much time do you spend continuing your journey into your practice? When it comes to techniques or equipment that you want to incorporate in the office. And I understand ultrasound is now part of the practice.
I spend a lot of time doing that. And I think probably I'm an outlier with regards to that. I think most surgeons, when they're done, they've had 10 years of training, and that's it. They're tired. And they just kind of go into practice, and that's what they do. No problem. It's very hard to get surgeons to change what they're doing, because that's what they do. I love learning. I really do. I'm a curious person by nature. I consider myself an amateur historian and read a lot. And in orthopedics, it's the same way. And you mentioned ultrasound, and that's something that we've brought online here in the last couple of months. It's a great tool. It's been around for a long time. It's got a lot of benefits in that, number one, it's completely safe. There's no radiation. It's based on sound waves. Number two, it can be done immediately right there in the office without any delay. Number three, it allows for dynamic imaging, meaning that the patient can move their joint while I'm watching what's happening. That's impossible.
Oh, wow.
It's impossible to do with MRI or X-ray. So I can be very specific with where it hurts, what's happening, and they can show me, and we can look at what's happening with the muscle and the tendon. It's great. And then also, of course, it's much less expensive than other imaging modalities. And another big benefit is you can do procedures with it. So you can inject using the image to guide me, which is very powerful. I've done thousands of injections. I honestly don't feel that I need it, but it's good to do it, to be able to show the patient, look here, here's where I am. You know, you don't have to take my word for it. Here's the image. Pictures 1,000 words, pictures don't lie type thing. So ultrasound's great, and happy to have that available here. I don't know of any other orthopedic surgeon in Northwest Pennsylvania who's doing ultrasound in the office like we are here in Titusville.
Wow. What, if a patient starts experiencing what? Kind of go through those symptoms, like if you start to feel this or this, maybe it's time to call.
Yeah, I mean, I think pain is a great example. If you're having pain with activities that's not going away, in the shoulder, that tends to be overhead and reaching activities are the exercises that are hardest for people. In the knee and hip, you're having problems like maybe walking up steps or walking for long distances. But if you're having pain, I mean, that's people who see me are in pain. I mean, that's usually, no one sees the orthopedic for prevention. I wish they did. I believe in prevention. You know, stitch in time saves 9, like we all learned as a child, is really true. But if you're having pain or anything that you can't do that you want to do, come on in and have a conversation.
We had a pretty rough winter. We actually had a winter. So I know there's, people sliding around out there and probably in some discomfort, especially now that the weather's breaking, people are getting out and maybe going for walks. Or they're going to be, I keep thinking of people working in their gardens and, that up and down motion and just that harshness on your knees. If you're experiencing any discomfort there, a call to the doctor is probably a good thing. Even if it's just a minor thing, it's something you can jump on now, and maybe it's something where you say, yeah, physical therapy, or you know what, this might be a problem in the next year or two. Let's keep an eye on this. But at least that conversation gets things started.
Exactly. Come on in and have a conversation. On my way here today to the station, I passed some landscapers who are doing some mulching, and I thought, man, spring's really here when you see the mulch coming out. So yeah, people get more active. It was a tough winter and took care of a lot of fractures, a lot of unfortunate breaks of hip, wrist, and ankle, but we take care of that right here. In fact, a couple of times, patients were on the launching pad to be transferred from Titusville, and we were able to keep those patients here, and they were so happy to be able to have their orthopedic care right here in Titusville. They're spared a painful ambulance ride with the fracture. Family can visit them easily, and was very happy to be able to do that. Yeah.
I keep thinking, too, that golfers, they want to get out there and play, and they want to make sure they're okay. But the other sport that's really growing is pickleball. So I don't know if you've seen any injuries from that, or if you're anticipating seeing some of those patients down the road.
I do see a lot of pickleball injuries.
And they want to know, Doc, when can I get back out there and play?
They do. And yeah, pickleball is a passion for a lot of people, and I'm a fan of exercise in any form. And if you like something, do it. I see a lot of runners, but if they love it, do it. Do what's meaningful to you, and we'll do our best to keep you doing the things that are meaningful to you as long as you can.
Are patients surprised at the recovery process? And even, again, just looking at the history of 125 years, a lot has changed. A lot has changed in your practice probably in the last 5 years. I mean, technology is incredible, and the recovery times seem like people would be surprised at sort of the turnaround when they're able to get back out to enjoy those things.
Yeah, for sure. I think I had a knee surgery, a ligament knee surgery when I was in high school, and spent 2 nights as an inpatient in the hospital after surgery. And today I'm doing total knee replacements, and people are going home the next day.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really a revolution of shorter care times and enhanced recovery, and it has to do with the team approach that we talked about earlier. Getting therapy involved sooner, coaching the patient before about what to expect, optimizing with the pharmacy team, all of the medications afterwards. We minimize narcotics, a lot of anti-inflammatories, attack that pain scheme through lots of different points to keep people off of the heavy-hitting medicines that have side effects. And so all of that combined really has quickened recoveries. It's really great.
Dr. Gates, Kelly Clark, good to see you this morning. Kelly, folks have questions. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, if folks have questions, you can call Dr. Gates' office to schedule any appointments, 814-827-9770. You can also call the foundation office if you have any questions or would like to sponsor golf. You can call that office at 814-827-1060. And I'd like to add Dr. Gates has another Coffee Talk with the Doc coming up on May 8th. That will be his next one at 2 o'clock, right?
May 8th. All right. And then for folks watching in Meadville, they can contact OAM?
Yes.
Okay.
So they can contact OAM, and depends on which office that you'd like to be seen in, but
okay.
Absolutely.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke.
Good to see you. Thanks, Luke.